So what am I going to report on today? Well, I would not look down if I were you, because I'm going to be reviewing Oblivion at Alton Towers Resort. Hello there guys, my name is Coaster Chall Reviews, built for theme park news. As you can tell, the throat's not getting any better. But it will get better, I'm sure of it. But this is a Coaster Chall review from Oblivion at Alton Towers. Make sure you go check back our earlier videos from the past few days. There's a lot we've uploaded again. A lot of stuff to look forward to, of course. Make sure you go check back one of our later theme park news updates, one of our latest ones from the new Cunninbert's Adventure Dart Ride coming to Fryson Park Clotton next year. We spoke a lot about that and the details with that, so make sure you go check that video out. Make sure you go check out a news update we did on the rumoured Six Flags Astroworld 2.0 theme park plan for Houston. Can't wait to hear an announcement about that in around 6 to 8 weeks time. Obviously we'll bring a news update whenever we get it. Also, make sure you go and check out any of our other videos we've uploaded, as well as subscribing to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. Make sure you like the video if you've loved it and comment your thoughts down below. Now let's get into this review from Oblivion at Alton Towers Resort. Oblivion is a B&M dive coaster, a Bolliger and Mabillard dive coaster by the Swiss manufacturers, opened on the 14th of March 1998. It is the world's first dive coaster, so if it wasn't for Oblivion, we wouldn't have the likes of Shikra, Griffon, Valraven, Baron 1898, Oblivion the Black Hole, Crake. You know, we wouldn't have any of those dark rides around the world, around Europe, around the States, around Asia, without the making of Oblivion. And these concepts do take a long time to make. I think Air was planned for about 2 years before, for about 4 years before they even constructed it. I think they opened Oblivion first because they needed to work on the flying coaster concept more. And then they opened that in 2002. So of course Oblivion was codenamed Secret Weapon 3. For those of you who don't know what about the code names and the Secret Weapon story, Secret Weapons 1 and 2 were planned Arrow Pipeline roller coasters, and after Secret Weapon 1 was scrapped, Secret Weapon 2 was the pipeline plans being brought up, and after John Wardley rode the prototype, it was too it was not thrilling enough for the market they were looking for, so they scrapped Secret Weapon 2. Secret Weapon 3 was Europe's first inverted roller coaster in Nemesis. Secret Weapon 4 was Oblivion, the world's first dive coaster. Secret Weapon 5 in 2002 was Air, the world's first flying roller coaster at the time. Secret Weapon 6 in 2010, replacing the iconic Corkscrew roller coaster, which I had the chance to do. I loved that coaster. Even though it was a headbanger, Corkscrew was an iconic coaster for me. It was, of course, 13, the world's first track drop, freefall track drop roller coaster. Secret Weapon 7 in 2013 was the Smiler, the world's first 14 looper on the site of the former Black Hole. Then, of course, Secret Weapon 8 on the site of the former Flume, opened back in 2018. It's, of course, Wicker Man, the world's first wooden coaster to combine, not include, combine wood and fire. So we're a bit clever with that world record there. Obviously, we all know, Alton Towers fans know, that Secret Weapon 9 shouldn't be too far away now. About 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 years away. So it's really closer than we think. Not sure where it's going to go. Not sure when they're going to start teasing for the next Secret Weapon. But I am predicting Secret Weapon 9 will come in this next decade, the 2020s decade. And then I'm thinking 2030, for the 50th anniversary of the park, we will see Secret Weapon 10, the 10th Secret Weapon project, just to stay on that trend where, you know, if it's an even number anniversary after every 10 years, they usually had a coaster. So if you look at the pattern, I spoke about this pattern in another video. Hex was 2000, not a coaster. 2010, 13 was a coaster. 2020, not going to be a coaster. 2030 might well be a coaster. 1990, going back before 2000, that was Thunderlooper. So there's a real opportunity here to add a coaster for the 10th anniversary in nearly 10 years, well, just over 10 years time. So, you know, I'm really excited to see what the future is for the Secret Weapon project. But going back to Secret Weapon 4, this Oblivion. So here's a few stats for you, if you didn't know any stats about the ride. So the length of the ride is 1,222 feet, with a height of 65 feet and a drop of 180 feet at an 87-degree angle straight into a tunnel with a duration of 1 minute 15 and a G-force of 4.5. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the queue line, the ride experience, the shop, the whole landscaping and everything, and then coming up with an overall rating out of 10. So starting off with the queue line of the ride, this is the very beginning of the ride experience. So I'm going to put some queue line footage that I took back in June on your screen now. Find that bit. Now the queue line footage clearly shows Oblivion themed rocks. You're going into one of the indoor bits. You see the queue line videos. Now I have wished for some of the queue line videos to be playing again. Not all the screens were on. You know, I think Oblivion back in the day had, you know, multiple queue line videos they were playing. There was one in the station where it's just the music along with the Oblivion logo sort of going in with the end bit with the creepy guy. You know, there's no happy ending to the story. Welcome to unknown. Welcome to the eternal darkness. Welcome to Oblivion. Ha 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 ha. But during the queue line, before you get into the station, but there were a couple of queue line videos. You got the physical effects of riding Oblivion. You got the psychological effects of riding Oblivion, and you had this old queue line video. I'm not too sure if they play it anymore, but there's an old queue line video where the actual evil guy splits into two people. One in white clothing, one in black clothing. The black clothing is the evil guy. The white clothing is the good guy. And basically, the bad guy sort of says, you know, everything's perfectly safe. The white guy's like, if it's so safe, why do you call this ride Oblivion? You know, things like that. It's just back and forth, back and forth. You know, the white guy's like, you're nearly at the point of no return. Hasta la vista, baby. Good night, Vienna. Get out now while you still can. The evil guy's just calm. He is calm as anything. It's just like, have a pleasant trip. See you around. Bye. With that evil laugh at the end. And if you remember that queue line video when it was playing, comment down below, because I remember it when I was younger. I remember seeing that queue line video when Smiler wasn't even built. Like, the first time I ever did Oblivion was 2000 and, I'm thinking off the top of my head here, 9, I believe. I know it was 2006 the first time I did Nemesis, but I think it was a couple of years after that I did Oblivion for the first time, when I was just getting into coasters. It was around 2008, 2009 when I first did Oblivion. And my god, what a ride. My god, what a ride I had. It was smooth. It was definitely smoother than it was this year, but it is still not a bad ride. Even though it's not as smooth as it was, it's still a good ride. It's still a decent coaster for the park. But when I did that first ride, I can remember some of it clear as day. I remember walking through that queue line and I remember seeing the black hole tent standing there doing absolutely nothing apart from inviting Scarefest attractions in. The first time I ever did Scarefest was 2011. That was the time when Carnival of Screams was in, Boiler House, you know, different things like that. I didn't manage to do those bases, but I do remember seeing like the Carnival of Screams tent, and I do remember seeing the sign for Boiler House near the black hole tent. So, you know, I've got some really classic memories with that sector in the days of the black hole tent and the Boiler House. And I remember going to Alton Towers in 2012 that year, and I remember seeing the black hole tent demolished and the Secret Weapon 7 signs up. I went on Oblivion again that day, and I just absolutely loved it. The rides on Oblivion just kept getting better and better and better when I rode it first time to when I've rode it now. But it's still a decent coaster even now. So the queue line itself really indulged me into the atmosphere of the whole area and coaster. The ride experience itself, like I said before, it's a little, just a teensy wincy little bit rougher than it was, but I think that's just because of age, etc. But it's still a decent coaster. It's still a very good coaster for Alton Towers. One of the best coasters at the park and one of the best coasters in the UK, in my personal opinion. And then, of course, after the ride experience, but by the way, my favourite part is the force that you get on the brake run. It's like a, I don't know if there's no such thing, but it's a positive whiplash when you sort of get into the brake run. It's like, and you sort of, your head roller rocks back and forth. So you get that positive whiplash, which I'm guessing is a thing. In terms of elements on the ride, though, as well, apart from the brake run, my favourite bit is the sort of airtime you get as you're being flung over that vertical drop. It's just, you can't get that feeling anymore. Like, dive coasters do that all the time, but you know, that was the first one. You've still got that classic anticipation of, are we going to drop, are we going to drop, are we going to drop? 3 seconds later, we're dropping. Just that anticipation's still there, and it still tends to be up even now. Then of course after the ride you've got the shop. I'm not too sure if they've still got that black border around most of the shop. They've had that for a couple of years now, so I was kind of wondering whether they're going to sort of redo the shop. I think that part of the shop's redone now. Again, comment down below if anything's changed since June about the Oblivion shop. But overall, as an experience, it was a decent ride. So overall then, I'm going to give this ride 7.5 out of 10. For Oblivion at Alton Towers. So make sure, if you've enjoyed my review, like it if you've loved it. Comment down below your thoughts on Oblivion. What's the next secret weapon? Where do you think it'll be? What would you like to see done to Oblivion? Do you want to see some refurbishments? Do you want to see the new Flawless trains come in that have come in recent dive coasters in Europe and around the world? Do you want to see those Flawless dive trains coming to Oblivion for a refurbishment year? Comment all your thoughts and theories down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've loved the videos, and also click the notification bell so you never miss a thrilling video. And for now guys, I'm Aaron Challoner, you've been watching Coaster Chall. Keep living the coaster life, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day my friends.